as soon as the nitrous oxide hit my brain, my entire perception of reality was permanently altered. And I would say that the best way to describe it would be unlike anything I have ever experienced in my life. I mean, seriously, it was the most powerful drug that I have ever inhaled in my entire life by far. Nitrous oxide is great for dentist operations, which is what I was undergoing. And I don't recommend doing this drug in any other situation. I mean, I don't recommend doing it recreationally. It is a dangerous drug. It is a very powerful drug, and it can lead to death. But man, if you're in a dentist's office, enjoy it, because that stuff is powerful. Basically, what happened is I got on the chair, and they put this mask over my face, and I'm pretty sure the mask has a mixture of nitrous oxide and oxygen, so it's like kind of a half and half, or most of it is nitrous, some of it is oxygen. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that you don't have to worry about fainting or whatever, because there's always going to be a supply of oxygen into your lungs. But either way, I put on the mask, and I didn't actually feel anything at first. I literally turned to the nurse. There were two nurses, and I turned to one of the nurses, and I was like, what is this supposed to feel like? I don't feel anything. And by the way, I was getting my wisdom teeth taken out, so that was the operation I was undergoing. But anyway, I was like, well, I don't feel anything. And I didn't feel anything for at least a good 30 seconds to a minute. And then I remember the doctor walking in, and I kind of felt it a little bit, but then he kind of like pushed the mask. He was like, oh, you're not going to feel it very, very well. And then he kind of like into for another couple seconds, and then he like pushed the mask down into my face. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of this, the best way to describe it is initially, and this is the beginning of it, it felt like everything was kind of like compressing, like my reality was just becoming more tunnel vision and just kind of compressing. As I kept on, it just felt more like someone was like squeezing my like head more powerfully, and it was like like that's what the sounds sounded like. It was like that thanks logo. It was like and it was like 10 sounds doing that at once, and it was just this overwhelming kind of like really powerful kind of like tunnel vision, extreme like compression. Almost felt like I was normal, and then like I was skipping. I was going like from 1 to 4 shots of alcohol to like 8 shots of alcohol to 12 shots, and it was just like really quick. It was like this super intoxicating kind of pressurized feeling. And then bam, I was just gone. And when I say gone, I don't mean I was dead, but it felt like I was dead. I mean, I couldn't see anything. Everything was black. Okay, I was in a void, and the noises were there. I remember I imagine being in a void of darkness, and there's these noises going, and I was in a dentist's office, so maybe that was just the machines they were using or something, but they were numbing me, so I don't know what kind of mechanical machine you need at that point. But anyway, it was like I was in this dreamlike state, and I'll get more into that in a second. But initially, it was this dark void, and the noises were going off, and I had no perception of time. My perception of time was completely gone. Completely gone. I mean, there was no, oh, that was like 30 seconds ago, or that was 10 seconds ago. There was just, I exist, and I'm in this void. And, it was this very, very powerful kind of feeling. Not pleasant. I'm not going to say it was like good, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I remember kind of feeling this kind of like shot, because they gave me a shot back here, and I remember kind of maybe as they pulled it out, like I felt the pain of that shot kind of, like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but I kind of felt it pull out a little bit as they were pulling out the needle. I kind of felt pain here. So I felt that shot. And then I remember, I believe at the same time that happened, the nurse actually, and this voice came out of nowhere. The nurse said, "Do you want me to turn it down? Like, are you okay? Do you want me to turn it down?" And I remember, you know, being in this kind of state of panic because I'm in this void. I don't know what's going on. I can't feel my legs. I can't feel anything. I don't know what's going on. And I remember I was kind of like, yeah, if you want to turn it down a little bit. And so I guess she turned it down because I couldn't even tell a difference after she told it or turned it down. I mean, I was still in this void. And actually, just to skip back, before I felt that pain and before she turned it down initially, I just want to add that she told me to like open my mouth, and I didn't open my mouth. She was like, "Open your mouth." And I was like, and then she was like, "Open your mouth." And I was like that. So, you know, I will say that like initially I was just, that was like the freakiest part. And I guess you could say maybe 30 seconds to a minute of that. And then maybe she turned it down after that. But after she turned it down, you know, I kind of felt the same. I was still freaking out a little bit because I was like, what the hell is going on? I don't feel my legs. I don't feel my body. There's no time. You know, and I remember, and I'm assuming what happened is my eyes were closed and I was kind of like opening them briefly. And I remember seeing like flashes, kind of like a dream. So in a dream, you see kind of like, you know, quick flashes and images, I guess, especially like the more vivid dreams you might have. Maybe not every dream is like this, but there are some vivid dreams you might have, and it's that kind of like quick flash of a scene or something like that. But I had these like flashes of a scene, and the best way to describe it is a literal vivid dream. I mean, that is exactly what it felt like. It legitimately felt like I was dreaming. I mean, I was in a dream-like state. Like, think back to a vivid dream you've had before, okay? Just try to imagine a vivid dream. This was a literal vivid dream. I mean, it's the exact equivalent to that. It equals that. So she turned it down again. So she saw I was in distress, and she turned it down again because, you know, she asked me, she was like, you want me to turn it down again? And I said, yeah. And this time I was like, turn it down. Like, this is too much. Because I didn't know what was going on. And when I said turn down, I don't even know how I did that. Because I was in this, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't feel my body. I don't even know how I even responded to that. But anyway, she turned it down again. And it literally instantly, it felt like I got shot out of a freaking cannon. I mean, seriously. It felt like as soon as she turned it down for the second time, and I'm assuming she probably turned it down quite a bit for the second time, it legitimately felt like I was shot out of a cannon back into reality. I was sitting in my dentist chair, and I see the nurse over there, and I'm like, excuse me, what's going on? The first thing I wanted to do is ask the nurse, what the hell is going on? Because I did not know. I was just absolutely just like in like complete, like I didn't know what was going on. So I asked the nurse, and she ended up saying, you know, you're getting an operation. We're giving you, you know, the drugs, blah, blah, blah. So I guess I kind of, you know, understood that. But man, and at this point, I was still completely like freaking gone. I mean, at least I had a perception of reality at this point. Like I was sitting in a dentist chair, and I could have said I am now sitting in a dentist chair. Before that, it was like I don't even know where the hell I am. I'm in this like void of like this dark void or something. But anyway, I remember being in that kind of state of just like kind of panic, but instantly just finally being able to piece things together in a weird way. I couldn't really come to a conclusion as to why I was sitting in that dentist chair, but I was thinking back, and I was like, holy crap, like that wasn't a dream. I was like, I'm actually experiencing this, because the first thing that was going through my mind was like, was that a dream or was that not? And it wasn't a dream, but it literally felt like I woke up from a vivid dream, and I'm sitting in a chair experiencing that dream now in reality. And that is the power of nitrous oxide. It is a very powerful drug. So I basically, I'm sitting there and I kind of see the doctor walk back in, and it's weird. I have no perception of time. And let me say, the second time she turned it down, she asked me, "Do you want me to turn it down again?" And I was like, "No." It was actually kind of enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. This is when it was like kind of nice because I wasn't, in a state of panic and I was enjoying the effects. And the best way to describe the effects at this point is just a complete like vibe. It was a bubbly feeling. It's almost like you're in this like kind of bubbly state where you're like woo woo woo, like everything is kind of like popping. I don't know how to explain like it very well, but like imagine you're standing in a dark like warehouse and there's like a group of like people like circus performers and they're just talking to each other. They're like, how's your weekend? You're talking to a couple of them, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere the music comes on, the lights come on, and people start dancing and around you, and they're in a circle moving around you, and you're just in the middle, and you're just like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And it's just kind of like this bubbly kind of feeling. That's the best way I can describe it at this point. Definitely a good feeling. Not like the the paranoia that I was in like 2 minutes earlier. So the perception of time is gone. So everything feels like you're watching a YouTube video in 2x speed at this point. And it was like a real life YouTube video I was watching in 2x speed. So instantly the doctor, he's going in there trying to take out the tooth, and then instantly, boom, he's like another tooth, blah, blah, blah. So it's like he's doing the operation like super, super fast. It skips. And I just remember, hearing these kind of him saying like, "You're doing good, buddy. You're doing good." And it like, I had no perception of time. So, it was like, "Oh, you're doing good." And then I kind of like not passed out, but like I didn't notice. And then like, boom, he's like over here, and then boom, he's over here. So it was this kind of like, zoom, zoom, like kind of weird, wavy kind of, I don't know how to explain it, kind of feeling. But either way, then they started the oxygen, and the beauty of laughing gas is you can instantly come down. Like, I mean, it like pretty much instantly it wears off. I mean, obviously for you to be like completely good, to drive and stuff, it might take a little longer, maybe like, an hour or something like that. But like, I mean, the powerful effects wear off pretty fast. And, it's not like getting drunk or something, there's really no side effects. So that was definitely, a plus. But overall, my experience of laughing gas definitely changed my perception of reality. The drug is extremely powerful, and, obviously only do it in medical situations. Do not do it unsupervised, without a doctor. I'm not recommending doing it. As you can see, it can go really, really bad. Like I could not imagine experiencing that, initially, how it was. I cannot imagine that experience just by myself or something. It would have been hell. And I'm thankful to have, professional, medical licensed people around me that know how to, navigate and turn it down and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys like this little rant. I'm just starting this YouTube channel, so, I'm planning on making some more videos later.